More than 2,000 Mainers are experiencing homelessness. That estimate is from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and was calculated right before the pandemic. Of that total, 260 were family households, 103 were veterans, and 248 were people experiencing chronic homelessness. Now, police departments across the state are rolling out new requirements regarding how they interact with people who are unhoused and commit minor crimes.
The goal is compassion and fairness, and some departments say they've had similar policies for years. But as News Center Maine's David Guilford reports, there are questions about whether the law could treat others unfairly in the process.
The majority of the people who enter the doors of Maine jails and prisons today are there because they have experienced trauma, violence, poverty, addiction, disease, oftentimes starting from the day of their birth.
A new Maine law is set to be tested on Friday. Each police department in the state has had to write homelessness crisis protocols and train staff by April 1st. Though they could personalize the language, they must train officers that when they find someone committing one of 5 minor crimes, including trespassing, urinating in public, and drug possession, they must ask if they have a place to stay. If the answer is no, the officers should attempt to get them to local resources instead of arresting them.
It's very likely during our first encounter, and in some instances, maybe the second encounter.
Sergeant Wade Betters showed us Bangor PD's ready-made cards to give out to people they encounter.
That's not to say that we can't make an arrest or issue a ticket, but every situation is different. But again, this law is designed to make it so all law enforcement statewide would understand that the preferred method would be to divert from the criminal justice system.
While each city's police force must have a protocol in place, those protocols could have desired outcomes. It's not necessarily black and white. So 2 people in the same city could commit the same crime, and conceivably one could be handed this resource card and sent on their way. The other could be arrested.
We must reject the old value construct that places less value on certain people and instead maintain that all people have value.
The goal in the legislature was compassion and fairness.
There's no one-size-fits-all for people experiencing homelessness.
Boyd Cronholm from the Bangor Area Homeless Shelter said police there have had diversion tactics for years. While there's some gray area in this new law, for him, it's all about a mindset of what's best for each human involved.
We need to spend time with the individual, find out what's caused you to end up in the situation you're in, and what can we do with maybe some natural supports to strengthen, to prevent that from happening or to solve that issue.
David Guilford, News Center, Maine.
And while each municipality was required to produce a homelessness crisis protocol this month, Maine's Attorney General had to issue one in January as an example. All must include diversion from arrest as a preferred option.